Hi, I'm Mr Scholefield. Welcome to the Geography Department at Smithills School.
Hi, I'm Miss Heywood. We are a Geography Department of 4 people. There's us two, Mrs Malt and Mr Hindley.
And what we'd like to do today is show you around our subject. Our geography curriculum at Smithills is what we describe as spiralised, and the idea is that we revisit big ideas throughout the 5-year journey. So for example, the idea of social and economic development is something that we look at in Year 7 in terms of how does development affect our lives, but then we'll revisit that idea throughout the other topics. In Year 8 we look at it from a slightly different angle, so we look at how damaging is development.
What you can see here is the curriculum journey across the 5 years at Smithills. In Year 7 we build on the Key Stage 2 knowledge and study their personal geographies. For example, what is our place? We examine one of the biggest issues facing our pupils' future of weather and climate, where we go from studying the local microclimate at Smithills to the global impacts of climate change. We extend this big idea by looking at the development of the haves and have-nots. We then study the physical aspects of coasts and flooding and explore the human effect this has on development and how flooding both inland and on the coast is exacerbated by weather and climate changes.
Moving into Year 8, we extend the idea of their personal geographies by looking at what is the issue with urbanisation at a national and international scale. And then we look at what are the hazards of our risky world in terms of how does development affect how people deal with human and physical hazards. We then re-examine the idea of development, but in this case we extend the knowledge by looking at how damaging is development, how does ecosystems link to development. And then in more detail we explore the idea of what are ecosystems and the impact that rapid development can have on them. In Year 9 we consolidate these big ideas that we've done previously in Year 7 and 8 by examining the distinctive geographies of the United Kingdom and beyond, and then in further detail we explore the rural-urban relationships in the United Kingdom.
The GCSE we study in geography is the EDUCAS exam board with specification A. In Year 10 we explore in more detail the idea of weather, climate and ecosystems. The optional theme of tectonics we study looks at how do tectonic processes create landforms and what are the impacts of tectonic processes. We link this to both the physical and the human aspects. We then studied the optional theme of tectonics, where we look in more detail about how tectonic processes create landforms and what are the impacts of tectonic processes. We then move on to weather, climate and ecosystems, where we look at how can we reduce the risk of tectonic hazards and why are some areas more vulnerable than others.
In Year 11 we bring all these big ideas back together by looking at the physical and human impact on development and resources, and then in more detail we examine the impact of social development across the world and disparities that exist between it. At Smithills we don't just believe learning occurs inside the classroom, we also invest heavily in enrichment opportunities.
Throughout the academic year I run a geography club called Jog Squad, where pupils can lead their learning in topics that they are personally interested in. Recently we created explosive bicarbonate of soda volcanoes and the pupils absolutely loved it. We also offer the opportunity for Smithills pupils to go on both regional and international trips.
We offer an annual residential trip to the Ribble Valley and provide opportunities for international travel, most recently to Paris and Barcelona, and we're also lucky enough to have wonderful surroundings with part of the Smithills estate, which we use to enrich the curriculum across the 5 years in terms of things like ecosystems and rivers.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to show you around our Smithills Geography Department.
If you've got any further questions or you'd like to know any more, please feel free to contact us at school.